I'm Peter Sidwell, welcome to my kitchen. It's time for a masterclass in big boy meatballs. I've got an incredible recipe in my latest cookbook and I want to show you how to make the ultimate meatball using our Masterclass cast aluminium pan. 4-litre cast aluminium shallow. I absolutely love this pan. I use it for everything. Baking, cooking, steaming, frying, you blooming name it. And what we're going to do is we're going to poach our meatballs in red wine, because why not? Okay, so all starts with a ratio. So we've got equal amounts of pork sausage and minced beef. Now using a bit of both means that the meatballs don't sort of dry out. If you use just lean minced beef, they'll dry out. Whereas with the sausage meat, you've got a higher fat content, so they kind of stay richer and nicer and more delicious. But I've got a few other little tricks to add to it to make it really delicious. So we're going to add some garlic, and I'm just going to grate that straight in. Because I'm using a fine grater, the skin stays this side, the garlic goes in there. We're also going to add some Parmesan, and that's going to act like a seasoning that tastes really good. Okay? So Parmesan in there, and it almost gives us a sort of a little bit of a bite and a bit of richness to it, which is lovely. Then we're going to add some dried oregano. Oregano is one of the very few dried herbs that works really well. Add that in. We're going to add some fresh breadcrumbs. So soft white bread, whatever, brown bread, blitzed up in the food processor and added in there. And this is going to give us a much softer, nicer, sort of less chunks of meat, if you know what I mean. And then in with an egg. Okay, and then the final thing, now this is a little bit controversial, but I've tried it and it is absolutely delicious. It went in my last book, ricotta cheese. I saw this once on a TV program about, I think it was maybe in New York, in Little Italy, and they made them this way and I was like, I've got to try that. And I did, and honestly, it just makes the most perfect meatball, okay? Get your hands in and mix all this together. Okay, scrunch those sausages right up with the beef, and the ricotta kind of lightens it. You know, the Parmesan gives it depth of flavour. Okay, garlic just runs through there, lovely. Just makes a really, really good meatball. Okay, once you've made them this way, honestly, I'm telling you, you'll change your ways. I promise you. Okay. So once you've made that up, you see the ricotta's just disappeared now. It's all gone, okay? I'm just going to wash my hands and then we're ready to go. Okay, meatballs ready. Let's get our pan on the heat, okay? Because what we're going to do is we're going to fry the meatball on one side, turn it over, poach it in red wine and tomato, okay? It's going to be a good. So, best way I've found to portion my meatballs, okay, is ice cream scoop. Just take them like that. And then just roll them like so. Pop them in your pan, and then as the pan gets hot, it'll start to sear the meatball on one side, and that is the only side that we want it seared on. Okay, I don't want them cooked directly on the pan on all sides, because we want them to be soft and porous, and we want them to just go red wine and just soak up that lovely red wine. That's what we want, okay? Last meatball, portioned up, ice cream scoop, really helps you do this job. If you get a bit sticky, just wet your hands. But today I am all good. So we're just going to sear those. I'll wash my hands and I'll be back. Okay, so just drizzle just a tiny little bit of oil, not a lot, because there's some natural fats in there anyway. Okay, and then just crank the heat up a little bit. Get some tongs so you can see what's going on. Yeah, that's good. So they're just frying off nicely. So, tinned tomatoes and our red wine, okay? So once we've got colour on these, we're going to turn them over and straight in with the red wine and the tomatoes. Reduce it down. By the time it's reduced, we'll add a little bit of ricotta, Parmesan, and we are good to go. Right, can you see, look, now they've seared on one side. Let's quickly turn them over. because we don't want the other side to cook heavily. All right? So let's just quickly turn those over. And we'll leave a bit of space as well. So as soon as you've turned that last one over, let's get the red wine in. Okay. So let's get Malbec Beefsteak Club. It's absolutely delicious, this wine. Great for cooking with, great for drinking. So in it goes. Cover the meatballs about halfway. All right? And then you want full power. Let's get these boiling. Let's get the wine reducing, and then we'll add the tomatoes. Right, now the red wine is boiling down. Just add your chopped tomatoes right in the center there. And then we'll just grab a spoon. Let it keep boiling. Let it reduce down. That's what we want. We want a nice tomatoey red wine reduction. Okay, so just let it do its thing now. Let it simmer away for about 15 minutes. If you want to pop the lid on, you can. What I'm going to do is just the lid slightly off because I want the evaporation. I want it to reduce. Let the water evaporate and intensify the flavor. Meatballs poaching beautifully. Can't wait to show you these. Right, you ready? Look at that. Poached, beautifully just sat in red wine, tomato, garlic, all those lovely things. What we're going to do is we're just going to finish with a little bit of Parmesan in there, because that'll just melt in lovely. And what I like to do is the last few bits of ricotta, just take a bit and plonk it in a gap, yeah? And it will just add a creaminess to it. When you sit down at the table and tuck into this, you'll get lovely rich tomato red wine sauce, and then you get creaminess from the ricotta. There we go. That ricotta will make it absolutely delicious. That is my masterclass in the perfect meatballs. You've got to make this one.